Now, before I get into the haul video, I first want to say that during the month of January, I did 2 unboxing videos. So if you want to see the other books that I did get during the month, there's 10 more, I think. Yeah, roughly 10 more that I got throughout this month. I will leave the links to those unboxing videos down below for you to check out. First things first, I'm going to start off with some more belated birthday gifts. These were ones that my mum forgot about, and she forgot to wrap them, and then a few weeks after my birthday she's like, here you go. I forgot. Firstly, I have Wonderstruck by Brian Selznick. This is the author who also did The Invention of Hugo Cabret, one of the books that I read last year and really thoroughly enjoyed. And it has illustrations all the way through it as well. I'm not sure if this came out of this book, but it just landed on my foot over this side. So anyway, I got a cool bookmark with it too, to go with my collection of bookmarks that are sitting up right there. I'm not entirely sure what this one is about, but what I can gather from the synopsis is that there are 2 children, Ben and Rose, and they go off on these little adventures to kind of find what is missing in their lives. I think the 2 stories are set 50 years apart. Ben's story is in words and Rose is in the pictures, I'm pretty sure. And I am super excited to get to this one. Cannot wait, and I know that it's going to be like a really nice, easy read that you can pretty much finish in one sitting if it's anything like The Invention of Hugo Cabret. The other book that she got me was The Cavendish Home for Boys and Girls by Claire Legrand. Firstly, let's talk about this cover. I really love illustrated covers, and the cover itself is really quite papery, and then the actual book is gorgeous, and on the spine with the title there's like creepy bugs and everything, and then more creepy bugs in here. So I think this story is about Mrs. Cavendish's, that's a mouthful, Mrs. Cavendish's children for boys and girls, and the children that go in there, they come out very different, or they do not come out at all, and the main character's best friend goes missing, and then she goes investigating and it leads to Mrs. Cavendish's home for boys and girls. So it sounds really good. I'm excited. This one is not a novel, but I got this book thingy-mabob how-to thing for my new camera that I got because there's a lot of fiddly bits that I don't know how to work, so I thought that something like this would be a really good idea so I can kind of get the gist of the camera and figure out how to use it, you know? That'd be handy. Moving on, we have Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. If you don't know what this is about, you haven't seen the movie or anything, all you really need to know is the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club, so therefore I can't talk about this book. So these next 2 books are sequels to books that I already own. I have not read them yet, but I like to buy books, you guys know that. And I've been finding recently that I've been starting series and then I desperately want to continue on with the next book and I don't have it and I have to wait a while for it to come, and it's upsetting. So I thought I'd get ahead this time round. So Supernaturally by Kirsten White. I have Paranormalcy and actually received it from Raylene from Pabfoot and Prong 07. She was giving away a bunch of books and I really wanted Paranormalcy, so she gave it to me. I'm not gonna go into the synopsis of this one just because it is a sequel, but from what I can gather from the Paranormalcy synopsis, there is this organization called IPCA, the International Paranormal Containment Agency, and the main character is a part of this agency, and there's a whole bunch of like paranormal creatures and stuff like that, so it sounds like a lot of fun. Then I have The Girl with the Iron Touch by Katie Cross. I'm pretty sure this is the 3rd book in the Steampunk Chronicles. I know that I definitely own The Girl in the Steel Corset, but I'm not sure if I have The Girl in the Clockwork Collar. I might, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I have this one now. So this series is set in the late 1800s, and the main character, she's a little bit special. This lord tries to take advantage of her, and she's able to knock him out with one punch. So, you know, your typical Victorian girl doesn't really have that capability. So I think there's some kind of magical sort of elements, some steampunkness, and that excites me, so boom! I also got Unearthly by Cynthia Hand. I saw this in Big W actually, and I actually really like these covers. So this one is an angel book. I haven't read many angel books, I don't think, at least none that I found particularly fantastic, so I'm really hoping that this one is good. I've heard really good things about it. The main character, Clara, she realized she was part angel when she was about 14 years old, and she has these visions, and there's this battle between the angels and these things called the Black Wings, so it sounds really cool. I also picked up More Than This by Patrick Ness. I have started reading it. I've stopped for now because there's other books I want to read, but I was bored during my lunch break, so I bought a book and started reading it. But at the very beginning of the story, our main character is drowning and he dies. And then he finds himself in this weird deserted place and he doesn't really know where it is and what is happening, what's going on, because he remembers that he has died. So he's curious to see what this place is, where he's found himself. Is it purgatory, afterlife, a dream? I don't know. He doesn't know. I'll find out when I read it, won't I? Well, I hope so. Now, these last 4 books are sequels to these 2 series that I started reading during the last readathon that I did. I began the first books and I loved them so much that I proceeded to go and buy more from those series. The first one is Sapphire Blue by Kirsten Gier. This is the 2nd book in the Ruby Red trilogy, and I also bought the 3rd book, which is Emerald Green. These books are about time travel. For pretty much her entire life, the main character, Gwyneth, believed that the time-traveling gene had skipped over her, and everyone thinks that her cousin Charlotte has it. But then something crazy happens. She travels back in time. So, a lot of questions there, a lot of drama. I have already read Sapphire Blue and I am currently in the middle of Emerald Green, so yes, really excited to see how this series ends. Just wow. Then I proceeded to buy Beyond the Valley of Thorns by Patrick Carman and Into the Mist by Patrick Carman. This is the 2nd book in the Land of Elyon series, the sequel to The Dark Hills Divide. And at first I thought this was the 4th book in the series because the bookstore that I bought it for said this was the 4th book, but it turns out this is kind of a prequel to the series that kind of intersects with it, and there's a few different characters and things like that. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I should probably read this one first, maybe. Yeah. Now, in the first book, Alexa, our main character, she lives in this kind of walled up society. There's the main city kind of thing in the center, and then there's 3 other towns connected to it, and each of the towns and the roads connecting it to the city in the center, it's all surrounded by these walls, and people pretty much feel what's on the outside. There's all these crazy dangers and things like that, but Alexa is a curious one and she wants to try and find a way out of it. And that is all that I got in the month of January. Like I said, I do have 10 other books that I unboxed throughout the month, so definitely check out those videos to see the exciting things I got from Jessie as a late birthday present, and also a box set of an amazing series that we all know and love. So yeah, that's all that I have for you guys today. I really hope that you enjoyed this whole video, and I will see you very soon with my wrap up and TBR. Bye!